Have you ever felt completely stuck? Like you have these huge, ambitious goals. Maybe you want to write a book, get in the best shape of your life, or start your own business, but the mountain just seems too high to climb. You look at the summit and feel so overwhelmed that you don't even take the first step. I've been there. We've all been there. And today, I want to share a story that completely changed my perspective on how real, lasting change actually happens. It's not about giant leaps. It's about the almost invisible power of small, consistent habits. Let me introduce you to Alex. Alex was a lot like many of us. He worked a decent 9-to-5 job, had friends, and a comfortable life. But deep down, he was restless. He felt like he was drifting, with no real direction. His health wasn't great. Too much takeout, not enough movement. His apartment was always a bit of a mess, a physical representation of the clutter in his mind. And he had this dream he'd been carrying around for years, to become a skilled graphic designer. He'd even bought the expensive software and a fancy tablet, but they just sat there, collecting dust. Every New Year's, he'd make the same resolutions. This year, I'll get fit, organize my life, and finally learn design. And every February, he'd find himself right back where he started, feeling even more defeated than before. One evening, after another long day of feeling unproductive, Alex stumbled upon an old book in a second-hand bookstore. It wasn't a flashy self-help bestseller. It was a simple, thin volume about the philosophy of Kaizen, a Japanese concept that means continuous improvement. The core idea wasn't about radical transformation. It was about making tiny, almost laughably small improvements every single day. The book argued that the human brain resists big, sudden changes. It triggers a fear response, but small, incremental steps. They fly under the radar. They don't set off any alarms. This idea clicked for Alex. It felt manageable. For the first time in a long time, he felt a spark of hope instead of a wave of overwhelm. So, he decided to try an experiment. He wasn't going to overhaul his entire life overnight. He was going to pick just one tiny thing in each area he wanted to improve. For his health, instead of committing to an hour at the gym every day, which he knew he'd quit, he made a new rule. He would do just one push-up before his morning coffee. Just one. It sounded ridiculous, but it was so easy he couldn't say no. For his cluttered apartment, he wouldn't spend a whole weekend cleaning. Instead, he decided to put away just one thing that was out of place. A stray book, a coffee mug, a piece of mail. Just one item. And for his dream of becoming a graphic designer, he wouldn't force himself to watch hours of tutorials. He would simply open the design software on his computer for 1 minute each day. He didn't even have to do anything. Just open it. The first few days felt silly. One push-up. What good could that possibly do? He'd finish it in 2 seconds and almost laugh. Putting away one sock felt like a drop in the ocean of his messy room. Opening a program and closing it a minute later felt pointless. There was no instant gratification, no visible progress. A part of his brain screamed, "This is a waste of time. You're not actually doing anything." But he remembered the book's advice. The goal isn't the immediate result, but the consistency. The goal is to build the habit of showing up. So he stuck with it. Something strange started to happen around week 2. After doing his single push-up, he'd think, well, I'm already down here. I might as well do a few more. One push-up often turned into 5, and sometimes even 10. But there was no pressure. If he only did one, he still won the day. After putting away one item, his eyes would naturally scan the room for another easy target. Oh, I can grab that plate too. Soon, he found himself spending 5 minutes tidying up without even thinking about it. His apartment started to look less chaotic. The design software was the biggest surprise. After a week of just opening it, he got curious. He started clicking around for that 1 minute. Then he looked up a 5-minute tutorial on how to draw a simple shape. The next day, he tried to replicate it. His 1 minute of just opening the app naturally blossomed into 10, then 15 minutes of playful exploration. A month passed. Alex's one push-up had evolved into a consistent 15-minute morning workout. His apartment was consistently tidy, which brought a surprising sense of calm to his mind. And he had not only completed a few beginner design projects, but was genuinely excited to open the software each day. He was no longer fighting himself. He was building momentum. He was enjoying the process. The friction was gone. These weren't chores anymore. They were just part of his day. Fast forward 6 months, Alex was a different person. Not because of one massive, life-altering event, but because of hundreds of tiny, seemingly insignificant decisions that stacked up over time. He was fitter than he'd been in a decade. His home was a clean, organized sanctuary that he was proud of, and he was now taking on small freelance graphic design projects for friends and local businesses. He was building a portfolio, and more importantly, he was building confidence. He finally saw himself as a designer. The crazy part is, if you had told Alex on day 1 to do a 15-minute workout, clean his whole apartment, and practice design for an hour every day, he would have failed. It would have been too much, too soon. The initial hurdle was too high. But by lowering the barrier to entry so much that it was impossible to fail, he tricked his own brain into starting. The consistency created momentum, and the momentum created real, tangible results. This story isn't just about Alex. It's about a fundamental truth of human nature. We overestimate what we can do in a day, but we drastically underestimate what we can accomplish in a year through small, daily actions. Think about it. What is your one push-up? What is that one tiny, almost laughable step you can take today toward a goal you care about? Want to write a book? Write one sentence. Want to learn an instrument? Practice for 1 minute. Want to build a better relationship? Send one thoughtful text. The magic is not in the action itself, but in the repetition. Each time you perform that tiny habit, you are casting a vote for the person you want to become. One push-up says, I am a person who takes care of my health. Writing one sentence says, I'm a writer. Opening the software says, I'm a designer. These small wins build an identity. And once you start to see yourself as that person, your actions will naturally begin to align with that identity. So I challenge you, stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for a huge burst of motivation. It's not coming. Motivation isn't something you have. It's something you create through action. Pick your one tiny thing. Make it so easy you can't say no. Do it today, and then do it again tomorrow. Don't worry about the results. Focus only on building the chain of consistency. Before you know it, you'll look back in 6 months, a year, or 5 years, and you won't even recognize the person you used to be. You'll have climbed the mountain, not with one giant leap, but one small, steady step at a time. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, let me know in the comments what your one push-up is going to be. I'd love to hear it. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories to help you build a better life.
is
See you in the next video.